empty?
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. It's like we're just pushing guys over. Out here going towards Javelin on both sides. Our truck ran out of gas. Going for here. You gotta take the beach to the woods. 3:30.
Okay, now run that line.
We're not talking from. Sure, we ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him, okay.
That's the first guy.
You need an ambulance?
Yes, no, I need to call.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Hello? Hello? Hello?
What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris. In today's video, I'm going to cover the Brandon Lawson story. It has a bizarre 911 call. I will go over the details leading up to the 911 call and then go over some theories and some other discussions at the end of the video. So please stay until the end for that. Thank you. Also, today's missing person case is Brandon Lawson from La Vista, Nebraska. He is 12 years old. He will be featured at the end of my video, so please stay until the end for that. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, where we cover murder, mystery, to the paranormal. Brandon Lawson was a loving father who had 4 children and was a devoted husband. Brandon loved to fish, play with his kids, and worked hard in the oil industry. Brandon lived in Fort Worth, Texas with his family for a time. Although Brandon Lawson was a regular guy who loved to party and did meth on occasions, he would unfortunately be arrested in September of 2012 and charged with delivering meth to an undercover agent. Sadly, we are creatures of habit and sometimes get exposed to the wrong crowd. He would move his family at the end of the same month in September 2012 to San Angelo, Texas. The timing of this would be suspicious because in the following year, March 20, 2013, law enforcement would end their 22-month investigation into a major meth ring, arresting up to 15 people, all within 1.5-mile radius from where Brandon Lawson lived in San Angelo. It is rumored after being arrested in September the year before, he became a criminal informant for the law enforcement, reducing his sentence drastically. Although just speculating, the timing is curious, but if true, could you blame the guy trying to do what is right, knowing he would have not been able to provide for his family, sitting in jail or prison for a large amount of time? It is believed that some of these people who were arrested in the bus were associated with the Mexican cartel and or Aryan Brotherhood, which are 2 highly dangerous groups that are involved in dangerous activities such as drug trafficking and more. Since his arrest in 2012, Brandon had supposedly not touched meth for some time, but on August 7th of 2013, just before his disappearance, he goes out and buys meth and is gone for the entire night. It's unclear what happened that night, but he could have ran into the wrong crowd in the drug or cartel world, and this could have been the catalyst for the bizarre events that would unfold the next day. On August 8th, late at night, he comes home and has an argument with his wife, Ladessa, in which he explains he's being followed and that he is leaving and heading to his father's home in Fort Worth, which is approximately 4 hours away. It is rumored and I'm clearly speculating, but before he was heading to his father's, he could have tried stopping at a gas station nearby his home to buy some gas, but ran into whoever was chasing him, causing him not to be able to fill up and leave. Brandon continues driving north on Highway 277 towards Bront, and this is where everything becomes chaotic and unclear on exactly what happened, but it is assumed he either runs out of gas and or whoever was chasing him caught up to him. Shortly after midnight at 12:12 a.m., Brandon calls his brother Kyle and tells him that he is being chased by the Mexicans and that a state trooper had pulled over one car, but he was still being chased. Kyle assumes he is really high on meth and disregards what Brandon says. Brandon calls his brother back at approximately 12:38 to tell Kyle that he ran out of gas and to bring some gas in a gas can. Just before Brandon calls 911, he tries calling his wife Ladessa 3 times at approximately 12:44 a.m., but sadly her phone was charging in her car. At 12:50, Brandon calls 911.
8 seconds.
911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. The site was just pushing guys over. Out here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. I got to take the to the woods. Please learn.
Okay, now run that
The
by.
one I talked to home. I surely ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
That's the first guy.
You need an ambulance?
Yes, no, I need the call.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Due to the miscommunication, the first responding officer, Sheriff Fox, would be dispatched north of Bront at approximately 12:55 a.m. At 12:56, a trucker passes by Brandon's truck and sees that it is parked haphazardly in the road and would call 911 at a gas station further down the highway. Brandon would try calling his neighbor at 12:57, but the neighbor missed the call, so the neighbor would try and call back multiple times at 12:58, but Brandon does not answer. At the same time, the 911 dispatcher tells Deputy Neal that they received a call from a trucker who had spotted Brandon's truck and he needs to head south. Kyle would try reaching his brother Brandon at 12:59 but does not answer. At 1:04, the 911 dispatcher tries to call Brandon but does not answer, so they leave a voicemail. At 1:09 a.m., Kyle has arrived at the scene along with Sheriff Fox, and they are talking to each other. At this time, Kyle receives 3 different phone calls from his brother's phone, and he is only able to connect to one of the calls in which he hears someone say, "I can see you. One time run. Where is your pride, mother effer?" It is unclear if this was his brother speaking or the individual that was chasing Brandon, and this was some kind of warning to Kyle. Kyle would try and call his brother back, believing he's just hiding from the law enforcement the entire time, afraid of getting arrested because Brandon had a warrant out for his arrest. Brandon's phone would start going straight to voicemail at about 3:30 a.m., and the last cell phone ping was about 2 miles away from his truck. If Brandon was murdered, the killer could have destroyed his phone by now. Kyle would call Odessa and tell her that he found the truck but could not find Brandon. He would leave a gas can near his truck at approximately 7 a.m., hoping that Brandon would just emerge from the field since the cops had left. His truck would be towed sometime around 8:30 a.m. LaDessa would file a missing person report on the 10th of August. Law enforcement would assemble multiple searches for Brandon in the following days and weeks, but never found any signs of Brandon. It would take over 8 years, but in 2022, Jason Watts would do some independent searches on the property near where Brandon's truck was on Highway 277 after getting permission, and would eventually come across some clothing of Brandon's and some human bones. It's not clear exactly what they all found, but there was a partial skull with no teeth, so they had to run a DNA test on the bones to be able to identify that it was Brandon Lawson's remains. The remains would be found within a mile of his truck. At this time, it's unclear what happened. The 911 call has been highly debated on exactly what was said and what is going on during the call. Some speculate that Brandon was hallucinating the entire thing and ran off into the fields and would die of exposure. My argument to this would be, how could he have driven so far without crashing into something on the way to Bront? And also, he was clearly responding to the operator's questions. The other theory, and in my opinion the more probable of the two, is that he was being chased by at least one or more individuals, which you can hear he says he ran into somebody.
I surely ran into him.
And unfortunately they caught up to him and at some point shot him and he was murdered. And the killer or killers would bury his body within a mile radius of the truck. To go along with the theory I have presented in this video, which is clearly speculation, but this particular group that Brandon could have ran into earlier typically uses shotguns since it is harder to trace back. Also, 2 weeks after the tragic event of Brandon Lawson, there was a double homicide involving a certain group of individuals in which a shotgun was used in the double homicide. This was also in relation to a meth deal gone wrong. This happened only a mile from where Brandon had lived. Could this group of individuals be associated with, or were one of them the killer? This is clearly speculation, of course, but nevertheless, Brandon's case is still ongoing investigation, and hopefully his family will receive justice. I will be breaking down the 911 call in a future video, as well as other details believed to have happened in the bizarre case of Brandon Lawson. If you would like more details about the case, I have other videos where I discuss more in depth of what happened in the case, as well as an interview with Jason Watts, the man who led the team to find Brandon Lawson's remains. Please share your thoughts and theories in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video, please smash that like button and share this video with a friend. Please subscribe if you are new to the channel, as I upload almost daily. Becoming a member helps support this channel and also gives you access to extra content and perks. Today's missing person case is Ryan Lawson from La Vista, Nebraska. He was just 12 years old when he went missing just over a year ago in May of 2021. Please take a close look. Please take care of yourself and be sure to tell someone you love them, and I love you all. Thank you.